Welcome back to the Energy Saving in the Home radio show. We're broadcasting live from the Woodlands Fall Home and Garden Show. It's the 10th annual one here at the Waterway Marriott in Woodlands, Texas. And as we have been talking about, I want to bring on another expert here from the Energy Saving in the Home radio show and the Woodlands Home and Garden Show, and that is Bob Haye. Bob, welcome to the Energy Saving in the Home radio show.
Thank you, Gary. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, you are our official expert here on the radio show in regards to getting those windows back in shape without really having to take them out, right?
That is correct. We do a product called Magnetite, which is an inside insulating product. It actually outperforms double pane windows as far as their thermal efficiency. And as you know, you've been by our booth many, many times, and we have quite a little bit different display than a lot of the other folks there.
A little unorthodox, but it sure works well.
Well, it gives a good demonstration of the insulating property of the acrylics that we use and how we mount the acrylics to the inside to provide that good, safe environment as well as keeping our energy load down.
Yeah, so what Bob's referring to here and talking about going by the booth is as people are walking by the booth, they've got a little boom box inside a box. And it is insulated by using the same exact material that you use to put inside of the standard window to insulate an air seal as well. But they open this door and you can hear the boom box. They close it and it's like silent. It's amazing.
Well, yeah, it's just one of the many aspects of the system. You know, glass being the conductor that it is. Again, even in the thermal break windows with the two panes of glass and the argon gas, they do a great job. There's some good ones out, a lot of good ones out there. A lot of them represented here at this show.
Right.
What our product is designed for is to bring an additional insulation to your existing windows. And we take off some of the other areas as well. If windows open and close, there's inherently a crack space leakage or an air gap that's created around the edges of that window and the sliding edge. Well, by coming inside and setting up a framework to the inside that's an airtight seal to the casement, and then the magnetic seal that goes through that, basically it's like putting a see-through refrigerator door over that opening.
Right.
And it allows us to stabilize the temperature inside the home, eliminate the hot and cold spots, stop the drafting, the condensation, eliminate the IR gain from the direct sunlight, all those things that the homeowner typically is trying to accomplish.
And, you know, I bet a lot of homeowners out there actually have that issue with condensation. And one component of the display that you have here at the Woodlands Home and Garden Show is you have it set up where you can actually emulate that. You want to tell our listeners a little bit about that?
Well, we have insulated box with windows in it, obviously, and inside that area we use dry ice. And the reason we use a cold display rather than a heat display is because, again, it's conductor, both the framework and the glass, but we can show a larger dispergency in temperature with the cold than we could possibly do realistically with the heat.
Right.
Those windows naturally are condensating greatly on the ones that are not insulated. One of the first things that people notice is, after they've, of course, stopped for the sound box, is that one window is making lots of water. It's extremely cold to the touch, and yet they get to the insulated side, it's crystal clear, and it's room temperature. And that's what we want to have inside our customers' homes, as well as stabilizing that temperature inside the house to within 3 to 5 degrees or whatever they put on the thermostat.
Now, these magnetic insulated windows, you didn't just start making these yesterday, did you?
No, sir. This product originally was developed at MIT under a grant from the Carter administration. In Texas, you say that and people ask you to leave sometimes, but a young energy physicist named Kenneth Foster put this together. And Dr. Foster is better known for the acrylics that we use than anything else. They're the first lightweight acrylics we use in eyeglasses. And because of that, it's unlike plexiglass or Lexans that would yellow, haze, check, do all kinds of weird stuff over time. And it's one of the reasons why we can provide a lifetime warranty with the system. And it's also another reason why Sears picked us up in 1984, and we were exclusively throughout the United States a Sears product for the next 15 years. And since that time, as you know, we've been doing energy shows and home shows, trade shows everywhere across the country.
Right. Yeah, and I think it's a great alternative if somebody doesn't want to or doesn't have the need to replace their windows. The other thing that you said earlier is it outperforms double pane. So I guess the question is if you put the insulated panel in place where you have a more efficient window, does it now make a more efficient window overall?
Absolutely. It's almost, to visualize it, it's almost like you have when they build your home. They put the minimum or the maximum they're going to in the attic insulation.
Okay.
And as we've all found out, we can always come back and add to that. We can make that more energy efficient. What people don't realize is that, particularly in Texas, our windows cover about 30% of our wall space. So we can insulate the attic, we can insulate the walls, we can insulate everything else, but a lot of people don't realize that they can also insulate those windows, which accounts for about 70% of your energy as well.
Yeah, I talk about all the time on the Energy Saving Home radio show about how inefficient windows are. If we could build homes with no windows in them, then the home would be much more efficient, but nobody's going to do that.
Everybody likes light unless you're going to live in Afghanistan.
That's right. Okay, I can kind of see the deal to that. Okay, so it also is a reduction of sound. I mean, it adds tremendously to reducing sound, even if they had double pane windows to begin with, especially if they've got single pane windows. This magnetic insulated panel on the inside reduces sound significantly.
About 70% on the average.
Yeah, so that's for somebody that's on a corner lot or on a busy street. They've got single pane windows. This would be another great product for them to look at from the standpoint of reducing the sound.
That and the other nice thing about our product is because it isn't, you can't see it from the outside of the home. It doesn't change the appearance of the home. But because it is insulation, you can actually, and there are a lot of homes we've done that in, we can insulate one given area of the house. So if folks have those hot spots or those cold spots, we can insulate that area and make that part of the house more comfortable immediately without having, again, the additional cost of having to do everything at one time and or do the whole house. We take care of those problem areas.
You mentioned you can't tell it from the outside because obviously they're going on the inside part. I can't tell it from the inside. I've walked up on windows before and not known that they had the magnetic insulated window from MAYECO in there and go, oh, yeah, now I see. It really is very inconspicuous. They're very easy to take out so that you can actually clean the glass on the inside. Great design.
Well, thank you. I wish I could take some credit for that. But the whole aspect is that when we're done with the job, we've actually had customers, because all of our guys are factory-trained technicians. We only use factory techs. And we pride ourselves in being able to complete a full home in one day. That's the other nice thing. We're in and out in a day's time, no muss, no fuss. And we've actually had customers come home and call the office wanting to know when we were going to be there.
Okay.
And
they didn't even know. Yeah.
And
I could see how they would actually miss that if they weren't there to see the process. Now, if I've got this triangular window and it's a triangular, but it's in different shapes on the edges, and is that a problem for you?
Not at all. Everything is custom made, handcrafted right on site. And we do that for a multitude of reasons. Number one, we can cover any size, any shape, particularly some of those in the older homes where you're talking about have the large trapezoidal windows in the den area, and then they have the arches and so forth. We cover all of those. And the height of the window doesn't make any difference. The size really doesn't for us either. We can cover anything up to a 12 by 12 foot area, Gary, without any additional framework or anything else. Because of the high density and the tensile strength of the acrylics, it's much more that of glass. Also, this material will not shatter. Unlike glass, if it hits, it shatters. This material will not shatter. It's 18.5 times the tensile strength of glass.
Wow.
So a lot of golf courses, people, in the storms and stuff, tree limbs or golf balls come through their window. Normally all that stuff would implode into the house, leaving quite a mess. With us, it hits that. It basically will release from the magnetic seal, pop itself back into place, and it captures all that fragments in between the magnetite and the primary glass window.
Well, I had never thought of it as a use for that kind of scenario, but that's pretty cool. So we can insulate it. We're air sealing, obviously, insulation. We're improving the sound quality, and now we're catching golf balls from a safety standpoint. That's pretty cool.
And let's not forget about the other aspect, which is the UV protection.
Okay, that's right. Furniture and carpet and all kinds of things. things.
The most expensive things in your home to replace.
Right.
And this product provides a 99.9% UV reduction, as well as an 80% reduction, again, in that IR gain, that direct sunlight that blasts us.
You bet. Well, Bob, it's always a pleasure having you here on the Energy Saving in the Home radio show. We appreciate you stopping by today. We're broadcasting live from the Woodlands, the fall Home and Garden Show at the Woodlands at the Waterway Marriott. Our special guest, Bob Haye, he's with MAYECO, and they provide the magnetic insulated windows that you need to try for your home. And you can do that by going to EnergySavingInTheHomeRadio.com. EnergySavingInTheHomeRadio.com. And Bob, we appreciate you being on the show today.
Thank you, Gary. It's always my pleasure.
All right, thank you.